Hello, everyone, and a special welcome to all of you future civil servants. Look, when it comes to ancient history for the UPSC, you absolutely have to know about the Buddha. It's a huge topic, and honestly, it's so easy to get lost in all the details. So in this explainer, we're going to cut right through the noise. We're going to focus on the essential, high-yield points that you really need for the exam. All right, let's dive in. So here's our game plan. First, we'll decode the key symbols from the Buddha's life. Then, we're going to trace his journey to enlightenment. After that, we'll zero in on that all-important first sermon at Sarnath. And finally, we'll wrap it all up by breaking down the Eightfold Path. A clear roadmap, right? Let's get started. Okay, first up, decoding Buddha's life symbols. It's all about understanding the visual language of Buddhist history. See, in Buddhist tradition, major life events are shown through these really powerful images. And you need to know this visual language, and I'll tell you why. It's not just for history. This stuff pops up all the time in art and architecture questions, and those are marks you don't want to miss. Now, this table connects all the dots for us. Check it out. The elephant, that symbolizes the Buddha's conception, or avakaranti. The lotus and bowl, they represent his birth. The horse is a big one. It stands for the Great Renunciation, or Mahabhinashramana, a key term we are definitely coming back to. The Bodhi tree, of course, is all about enlightenment, or nirvana, and the wheel, the Dharma chakra, represents his very first sermon. Seriously, take a mental screenshot of this. These connections are absolutely essential for your prelims. Next section, the path to enlightenment. We're looking at Siddhartha Gautama's incredible transformation. So we have the symbols, right? But how do they actually fit together to tell a story? Well, let's put them on a timeline and watch how Siddhartha, the prince, became the Buddha, the enlightened one. The story really kicks off with his conception, famously marked by his mother, Queen Maya, dreaming of a white elephant. Then comes his birth as a prince. But here's the real turning point. The Great Renunciation. This is the moment Siddhartha leaves it all behind, his palace, his family, his wealth, to search for the truth. And this incredible quest ends under the Bodhi tree at Bodh Gaya, where he finally attains enlightenment and becomes the Buddha. Okay, let's pause and really focus on this term, Mahabhinashramana. Now, this is more than just a tricky word. It's a pivotal concept. It stands for the Great Renunciation, that defining moment Siddhartha chose the ascetic's path over a king's life. And it's forever linked to the symbol of the horse, Kantaka, which carried him away from the material world. So the key point to remember is this: horse equals Mahabhinashramana. Make sure you lock that connection in your mind. All right, let's move on to the sermon at Sarnath, the turning of the wheel of Dharma. So, Siddhartha has attained enlightenment. He's figured it out. But what good is all that insight if you keep it to yourself, right? His very next step was absolutely crucial, to share his knowledge with the world. And that brings us to his first sermon. Sarnath. Just this one word. Where did this monumental event happen? Right here. Sarnath. This location is a fact that gets tested again and again in the exam. After his enlightenment, this is where the Buddha traveled. He found his first 5 disciples and delivered his very first teaching. If you associate just one place with the first sermon, this is the one. And that first sermon has this incredible name, Dharma Chakra Pravartana. It literally means the turning of the wheel of Dharma. What a powerful image, isn't it? It's like, with this single sermon, the Buddha set the wheel of his teachings in motion, a new law of righteousness that would ripple across the world. That's what the wheel symbol represents. And now for the core of it all, mastering the Eightfold Path, the main theme of that first sermon. So you might be wondering, what was the core message of that sermon? What was this Dharma that he set in motion? It was a practical, actionable framework for achieving enlightenment, and we know it as the Eightfold Path. 8. This number is central to everything. It represents the 8 clear, structured steps the Buddha laid out, a path to guide his followers out of suffering. You could say it forms the very foundation of Buddhist ethics. And here they are. Now, to make this easier to remember, just think of them in 3 groups. First, there's wisdom. That's right view and right intention, which is all about understanding reality. Then there's ethical conduct, right speech, right action, and right livelihood. These guide how we interact with the world. And finally, we have mental discipline, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration, which focus on training the mind. Put them all together, and you've got a complete guide to liberation. And finally, let's look at a title that's often used for the Buddha himself, Tathagata. It means something like one who has thus gone, or one who has realized the truth. And it's so significant because it means he didn't just talk about the path. He walked it, he completed it, and he went beyond the cycle of suffering. It's a title that really captures his entire achievement. And that leaves us with a final question to think about, especially for your mains preparation. This eightfold path was laid out over 2 millennia ago. But when you really look at its parts, right speech, right action, right livelihood, it feels incredibly modern, doesn't it? So the question is, how can this 2,500-year-old path give us a framework for ethical conduct and right action in the complex world we live in today? That's something to really ponder.